Yeah, hi friends. Today I want to discuss about a Spring MVC5 flow, actual the MVC5 flow. So before going to MVC flow, just I want to introduce myself, and this is Veerraju Kakarla. My YouTube channel is V Kakarla. So you can check my latest videos and from this channel, YouTube channel. So my intention is to create a number of videos on Java microservices. So you people will see all the next sessions based on the Java microservices. So Java microservices we can develop using Spring Boot technology. So before going to Spring Boot, but we should know about what is Spring MVC and what is the actual flow of the Spring application. So we should know. So that is the purpose. I'm starting a first session with the Spring MVC. So right now, we are having a Spring MVC 5 is the latest version. 5.x is the latest version of the Spring framework. So, anyhow, just I'm saying this is Spring MVC 5, right? So, first of all, we need to know what is the web application actually. So, what is the web application? Simply, it is a web application is a computer program. We can request that web application through the from the browser, and we can get the response from the browser. So inside that browser, over the after that, there is a web technology is there. In that web technology will it will perform your request and it will give the response over the internet. So what are the web technologies are there? So here I mentioned, here is the web technology, right? So what is the web technology? Actually, to develop any web application, we need some web technologies. So in the Java world, in the Java environment, we have a different frameworks. So how can we develop a web application using Java frameworks, which means a web application by web technologies. So we have web technologies in Java or web frameworks. We can call it as a frameworks. So using servlets, we can develop a web application. Using studs, we can develop a web application. Using Spring, we can develop a web application. So using servlets is the very is the world. Of course, even though it is a world, it is a base. It is the core functionality. On top of servlet only, the studs came into the picture. On top of servlet only, the Spring came into the picture. So if it is a normal servlet, we can call it as a servlet class. So using servlet, we can develop a dynamic web application like that. So in the similarly, we can have a studs framework. Here we can call it as a uh, action servlet class. So if it is a Spring, we can call it as a dispatcher servlet. So this is the main controllers of this frameworks, where these action classes or these servlet classes will take care about the request and responses. So coming to Spring MVC flow. So in a Spring, we can call it as a dispatcher servlet. Okay. So now coming to MVC flow, here we have a different annotations. Nowadays, so everything in any annotations, right? So instead of having all the configuration files and creating objects and multiple times, so we can have some annotations and layer levels and all. So coming to MVC flow, a Spring web application, a dispatch servlet class works as a front controller. See what is mean by front controller. If you see in this diagram, this is the MVC flow diagram. This is the dispatcher servlet. It will work as a front controller, which means it will take care about a request and response from the client or browser. So once the request is coming to the dispatcher servlet, this dispatcher servlet will take help of the handler mapping to know what exact a controller to send this request. So handler mapping will give the exact path and exact controller name to the dispatcher servlet, and again dispatcher servlet will go to the controller, and in that controller we already did a business logic. We already developed a business logic. So based on the business logic, the data will made in a controller layer, whether it is a coming from the database layer, whether it is a coming from the external service, we get the response from the controller layer. From that response, we will send back to the dispatcher servlet. But in basic Spring MVC application, we have a model view object actually. In that model view object, we need to send the response along with the some view logical name. Why? Because here we have a view pages also. Nowadays, it is separated from the view, is a separated development stack, and backend is the completely developing stack. So in our future videos also, we will concentrate more on backend development only. So as part of MVC flow, you should know model view. The model view is the one object. It will carry the response object along with the view name. So dispatcher servlet don't know which view it will need to send the response to the client, response to the browser. So again, it will take the help of view resolver. So view resolver is the one of the component of Spring framework. It will check whether the view page is existed or not in our whole application. If it is there, it will tell to the dispatcher servlet, hey, dispatcher servlet, you need to send this response, whatever the response is coming from the controller. That response you need to send some particular JSP or particular HTML. It will give the view component name. Again, dispatcher servlet, it will take the response and along with the view page, and it will populate the response in the browser. So this is what MVC flow, Spring MVC flow. The same flow I mentioned here, step 1, step 2, step 3. What it will be there? A Spring MVC execution flow. First request will be received by the dispatcher servlet. Obviously, it will receive the dispatcher servlet. Dispatcher servlet will take help of handler mapping and get to know the controller class name associated with the given request. Exactly. It will take the help of handler mapping. It will go to the controller. Third step. So request transfer to the controller, and then controller will process the request by executing appropriate methods and returns model view object. Exactly. So contains a model data and view object. Model data in the sense response data and the view object back to the dispatcher servlet. Again, the dispatcher servlet will get the model view data along with the some view name. So then now dispatcher servlet send the model object to the view resolver to get the actual view page. As I said, right, it will give the exact view page. Then finally, dispatcher servlet will pass the model object in the sense response view page to display the result. So that is what I said as part of MVC flow. So this is MVC flow. Now we are going to developing a simple MVC application. But for that we have some prerequisites. So Spring is there, Spring 5 is there, MVC Maven 3.x and Tomcat 8 or Tomcat server 8 or 9, either Eclipse or STS tool. It is an IDE. To check this response of this application, we need a Postman or Chrome to test this application. Now I'm opening my application. So this is the Spring session 1 Spring 5 MVC service. Okay, fine. So if you want to create a newly, you can create a file, a new. If you go others, Maven project. So if you click on the Maven project, if you click on the next, it will come some artifacts here. Which type of artifact you need to create? See here, MVC 1.0 blank archetype is there, right? You can create you can select this and you can next, and you can give the group ID, artifact ID, package name. Group ID, package is the same. Artifact ID is nothing but our application name. It is the package. We can say it is a package or group of packages. So we can give the artifact ID is nothing but a Spring demo or Spring MVC application. Like that, we can give our application name. So once you given the Spring demo, something like that, it will show finish class, finish button. So once you finish, it will come here. So I already created here. So this is the you can initially you will get the resource folder and test resource package and test package and all. As of now, for this application we don't need that. So that is the reason I deleted that. So now I am opening the pom.xml, just a pom.xml. This is the project object model. So in that, what we have dependencies we have This is the group ID com.weird.spring MVC application, session 1 MVC 5, sorry, MVC 5, Spring MVC 5 service. Now one dependency is there, dependencies and a simple one dependency. What is this dependency? A Spring framework, Spring Web MVC. So if you want to develop a web application using a Spring framework, you need a Web MVC dependency along with the some release in the sense version of the Spring. So then we have some Maven plugin. It is a compiler to compile all our classes and build the application. So this is what pom.xml. Coming to web.xml. See, any web application we need a web deployment descriptor which is called a web.xml. So in this web.xml, as I told you, a dispatcher servlet is the main controller. So that is the reason I mentioned here servlet name or servlet class. Servlet class is the dispatcher servlet, and name we can give any name. So I given dispatcher servlet. So if it is a dispatcher servlet, we need to give the servlet mapping also. This is the URL pattern. To know our intention is clear. This is an MVC application. Just I given an MVC is the URL pattern. When you are requesting, you need to give the application name / MVC / remaining path. So this is that is the reason I am giving MVC. And coming to this servlet XML file, see, it is an XML configuration default MVC application, right? We should configure some packages and all, some servlet.xml file. So if it is the names, same name, same prefix name, we are having any servlet.xml, we no need to give here implicitly here. Otherwise, we should give this servlet.xml in the web.xml. Then only the Tomcat container or any application server container will read and load the packages. So we already given the same name, right? The same name I used as a prefix. So servlet.xml, dispatcher-servlet.xml. So automatically the container will read the web application, this web.xml. After that web.xml, it will register and load the web.xml, and again it will search, is there any XML or configuration files are there starting with dispatcher? Yes, we have dispatcher servlet.xml. So it will check what are the configurations are there configured in this XML. So what we did, see here, annotation config. Why? Because context in the sense the scope of this application. We used annotation config. Fine. So it will read any annotations on top of any class or on top of any method. It will take the help. It will take care. Again, we given context colon component scan in the sense whatever we developed all the classes inside this project which are treated as a Spring components, So by naming or by defining annotations on top of the respective classes. So what are the classes we will see once this introduction is done. So here we have a different classes, right? So we have a com.weird.spring MVC application. This is the base package. So in this package we given component scan, right? So application server, a server container will scan all the packages and it will load all the classes. So to load all the classes, we need to give a base package by defining component context colon component scan tag inside the servlet.xml. So this is what configuration to load all the classes. So coming to our actual classes, see here, controller. See, the request will come to the controller, right? So whenever the request come to controller, it is a controller on top of employee controller. I am taking employee controller as part of our example. This is a simple MVC application to get we have two methods here. One is the greet, one is the just greeting method, one is the get employee. See, whenever you are giving a request to this greeting method, it will give say hello, just hello, a particular name, hello Veer, welcome to Spring MVC 5 world. If you call this if you call this second method, it will give some information about the employee. So this is the @get mapping. Here we have a 3 annotations. One is the @controller and @get mapping, and this is also get mapping. Why? Because see, @get mapping from Spring 5 onwards, we have directly @get mapping. Previously we have a request mapping, and request mapping. Inside the request mapping, we have mentioned this is the get method. But in this get mapping, it is nothing but a request mapping. This is the request mapping, and also method target, also method get type is the method equals to get. So by default, we no need to mention a method equals to get like that. So it is a get mapping. It is a combination of request mapping and method type. So the name itself, it is a get and mapping, right? So get mapping, and inside it is also having a request mapping. So whenever the controller will come to this controller class flow, this controller class, it will have a respective URIs, respective paths. Based on that path, it will go to the request or current flow according to the whether it is a greet method or whether it is a get employee method, based on the request type. So here I am giving a @response body. Here I didn't use any model view object as part of a response body. Just I separated backend develop, right? So just I given @response body. Whatever we are getting a response here, just I am sending the body as a response body. So I given @response body as part of this method response. So this is the string as a return type of this method. So that is the reason I'm returning a string return type here. And whatever I am getting a dynamic parameter or dynamic value here, just we need to give like this, and we need to read that parameter. We need to read that parameter or variable inside the method arguments. So that is the reason we have a string. We have a different annotations. I will post one more session all the annotations of the Spring framework, so that you people will be aware of each and every annotation. So @path, as of now, you can remember this path variable is the one variable to read one of the parameter coming from the request as part of request path. So path variable, right? Along with the path, we are getting some variable. So that is the reason path variable annotation is there. String name. So the whatever we are sending a name, it will come here. So it will come here. So here returning now, right? So as part of response. Likewise, same we are returning here /employee is there. It will come to the controller in this class. Whatever we are preparing a response here, the response will go as part in the response body. So this is what after MVC flow, here we are getting a response from the controller. See here also, see one application may have more than one controller. At least one controller, it will have more than one controller. This is also controller. See, this is ABC controller /ABC/name. Here also I'm giving. See, based on the request, based on the URI, it will come here. Just I'm taking. I want to know and which controller it is coming. From ABC controller. Okay. So I will add this to. I will add in this controller also. So we need to know, right, from which controller it is coming. From employee controller. Just employee controller. Just if you want to run I'm doing just a Maven clean of this project. Just it is cleaning and deleting the target folder. Just again I'm doing a Maven install, which means it is compiling and creating a var file, whatever we are defining a var file. See, whatever we are defining a var file here. See, it is creating a session1 vir Spring MVC5 service snapshot.var file, right? So it will create a var file like that. It is a build success. Now we will have a server to deploy this container. We need to have a container. So here I already configure a Tomcat server here. Just I'm cleaning this server. Just I'm run as a server. So it will automatically run on the server. Next. So here we have a Spring MVC file. Just I'm clicking this. So it is deployed and it is giving some name. So here it is by default it will take localhost 8080 vir1, right? So just I'm copying this. I'm going to the browser. Just I'm giving here. So here. So just I'm giving MVC. MVC is our URL pattern, right? So employee I'm giving. So MVC employee. See, MVC employee I'm giving. After class, I'm giving URL pattern MVC/employee. MVC, where we are defining an MVC here in a web.xml URL pattern, I defined as an MVC, right? So that is the reason we need to give the /MVC. After employee, where it is the employee is from the employee controller /employee is there, right? So after MVC, it will check where it is an MVC and which class it is defined in which method. So it will come here and it will give the respective response here in the browser. So I want to check the just a name. Now after employee, just I'm giving after employee, what is the URL parameter? Employee name, right? So here is the ABC name. So just I'm giving employee name. I'm giving my name as a Veerraju. See, from employee controller, hello Veerraju, welcome to Spring MVC world. See, if I am giving in place of MVC, I'm giving ABC. If I'm giving ABC, it should go ABC controller. See, from ABC controller, hello Veerraju, welcome to Spring MVC world. See, based on the path, based on the whatever we are giving, based on the path, the request dispatcher will ask to handler mapping. Hey, handler mapping, which control should I go to collect the response? Handler mapping will tell to the dispatcher servlet, you need to go whether ABC controller, whether it's an employee controller or any XYZ controller. Based on the path, it will tell to the dispatcher servlet. So dispatcher servlet again will come to the ABC controller based on this path, and we are preparing some response in that method, right? So along with that response, it will come. Already we defined as part of response, we need to send the response at the rate response body, right? So from that body, it will come here, and we can see the response here. So this is what Spring MVC, the basic MVC flow. And session 2, we will start a Spring Boot application. We can avoid to configure this server, Tomcat server, and all the XML files at web.xml and dispatcher servlet XML, all the configuration files we can avoid. How we can avoid? How Spring Boot will support all the configurations by default. We can call it as a auto configurations. So how the beauty of the Spring Boot application, and we are going to the REST environment, REST world. So this is a normal web application. This is not a REST application. We will go to the REST, Spring Boot, REST. How can we develop a RESTful application using Spring Boot as part of Java microservices world? So we will see the next class, Spring Boot, a REST application, an example. So if you want to know my future videos from this session 1, and future it will come session 2, session 3, many videos, it may be 10 or 20 or 100. My intention is to create a n number of videos to you guys. So please subscribe, and I will also give this project from the my video link. Inside the video link, I will provide the GitHub link also. From I will made it as a public project, so that you people can download this project from my GitHub account, so that you can import this project into your Eclipse from your local. You can run and enjoy the technology. Just I want to share my knowledge to you guys to understand the basic things and basic to advanced. So before going to advanced, just I mentioned this is a basic Spring MVC application. So just this is a basic Spring MVC application. So this is what a request and response of this application. So thanks guys, thanks. You can watch next videos on my future classes.